Did you know there's an entire state outside of Chicago? Amtrak certainly did, as there are 30 total stations in my home state of Illinois, the second most in the nation, and I'm going to visit all of them to explore what the land of Lincoln has to offer. This is your ticket to Illinois. This video and the others in this series are a culmination of over 2.5 years of research, traveling, filming, and editing in order to visit and document every Amtrak station in the state of Illinois. Having grown up in a smaller town downstate, I wanted to use our relatively robust Amtrak network in order to showcase the part of the state that most people probably don't think about. I try my best to thoroughly research each city and visit the unique or interesting attractions in each. However, due to the nature of me having limited time to actually go on these trips, it's inevitable that I will miss something, places will be closed, or I won't be able to visit something. That's where you come in. If you grew up, live, or just visited one of these places and there's something I missed, didn't get to see, or if you just have a personal connection or story, please leave a comment. I want to hear your thoughts and experiences. Just remember to please be nice and respectful. Another note, in this video I'll talk about town founders and settlers, but it's important to know that prior to European settlement, much of Illinois was inhabited by Native American tribes, many of whom lend their names to places in the state and the state itself. Illinois is named for the Illinois Confederacy, also known as the Illiniwek or Illini, a collection of about a dozen native tribes in the Mississippi River Valley, including tribes such as the Cahokia, Kaskaskia, and Peoria. Illinois comes from the Ojibwe word Illiniwek, which was adapted into French as Illinois, and began to appear as Illinois in the late 1670s. As European settlement continued westward, many of these native tribes were forced out of their lands and into reservations. Unfortunately, the specifics of this are beyond the scope of this video, but I highly recommend reading and learning about the native history of Illinois. One last thing before we get into it. This has taken me a long time to complete and has been my passion project for a while. If you enjoy it, please leave a like, and if you feel so inclined and want to help me make future videos, or make back all the money I spent on Amtrak tickets, the link to my Patreon is in the description. Thank you, and enjoy the video. Much of the current Lincoln service route parallels the famed Route 66, itself often paralleling existing railroads, and first connected Chicago with the West Coast 100 years ago in 1926. As such, many stops on the line pay homage to the mother road with museums, displays, and murals. Over on the rail side of things, the corridor between Chicago and St. Louis was served by 4 different railroads after World War II. The Chicago and Eastern Illinois, the Wabash, the Illinois Central, and the Gulf, Mobile, and Ohio. When Amtrak was formed, they opted to use the GM&O's route, as it was the shortest but served the most population, and ran 2 round trips on the line. The Abraham Lincoln and the Limited, renamed the Prairie State in November. Along with the renaming, both trains were briefly extended north to Milwaukee, but were cut back to Chicago in October 1973 with the introduction of the turboliners, gas turbine trains Amtrak leased from France. The Abraham Lincoln and Prairie State names were changed simply to turboliner. In tandem with the turboliners, Amtrak launched a 3rd round trip, the State House, which originally was intended to only go as far as Springfield. However, due to the lack of ability to turn the train around at Springfield, Amtrak decided to extend it to St. Louis. The Weekender was a, weekend train with conventional equipment that ran when the turboliners underwent maintenance. The Abraham Lincoln name returned when most turboliner sets were replaced by conventional equipment in October 1975. The final turboliner set on the route was replaced with the then new Amfleets in December 1975, and that train was renamed the Ann Rutledge in 1976, after Lincoln's alleged first love. The Ann Rutledge was replaced by an extension of the Inter-American, the future Texas Eagle, in 1976, and the Abraham Lincoln got renamed the Ann Rutledge in 1977. In 1986, the loop between Chicago and Springfield began operation and lasted for a decade until 1996. In 2006, with the addition of 2 new round trips, all the Chicago-St. Louis trains adopted the name of the Lincoln service. Ever since 1974, Amtrak wanted to increase speeds on the line, but wasn't able to secure funding to do so. The route was named an emerging corridor for high-speed rail in 1980, but the southern portion of the line was limited to just 60 miles per hour in 1984, due to declining track conditions. Further deterioration caused most of the line to be capped at 60 miles per hour in 1988. Continuous disagreements and battles over maintenance responsibilities led Amtrak to research multiple alternative routes, favoring a route via Chicago, Champaign, Tolono, and Decatur. To avoid having to shift the route, the Illinois Department of Transportation and Amtrak underwent a $1 million stopgap repair program in the summer of 1988 and offered the current owner of the line, the Chicago, Missouri and Western, a $14 million aid package to assist with track rehabilitation and service improvement. However, the railroad's creditors opposed the aid, instead wanting the company to be liquidated so they could be paid. Ultimately, a bankruptcy judge allowed the company to accept the aid from IDOT. Track work had begun and slow zones were beginning to be removed, but ridership on the line had taken a big hit. To make matters worse, the CMNW implemented new slow zones, reducing the top speed down to just 50 miles per hour. Southern Pacific, which eventually was merged into Union Pacific, bought the CMNW in 1989 and began much needed track work on the route, slowly bringing up the speed and reducing travel time, until some of the new track was found to be faulty and a 30 mile per hour speed limit was put on 24 miles of the line. In 1992, IDOT released a preliminary report envisioning 8 high-speed round trips on the corridor, but the 1994 final report opted for cheaper, more feasible incremental improvements. It wasn't until the turn of the century that these improvements began, starting with a contract with Lockheed Martin for a new PTC signaling system to allow for a 110 mile per hour operation. The line's current owner, Union Pacific, had underwent a $50 million track refurbishing project to eliminate slow zones. After further improvements in the following decade, Amtrak finally implemented 110 mile per hour service between Joliet and Alton in May 2023. Today, the route offers 5 round trips, with one train, the succinctly named Lincoln Service Missouri River Runner, continuing to and from Kansas City, and one, the Texas Eagle, operating all the way to San Antonio. The Lincoln Service has the most riders of the 3 main Illinois routes, with 592,735 riders in fiscal year 2025. The first stop on the line is just outside of Chicago, in Summit. Although the area where Summit lies has been settled for decades, the village was only officially incorporated in 1890, after residents were worried about the nearby growing city of Chicago annexing their community. With a population of 11,161, Summit is an industrial village located along the Illinois-Michigan Canal, and many large manufacturing and processing plants are located in the area. One plant, the Corn Products Refining Company, manufactured a cornstarch product under the brand name Argo, which a then developing community near Summit adopted as its name in 1906. This neighborhood was annexed into Summit in 1911, but the area south of the railroad tracks is still commonly referred to as Argo. The company, now known as Ingredion, still operates a large facility in nearby Bedford Park. Contrary to its name, Summit is only 614 feet above sea level, but it is the highest point between the Chicago and Des Plaines rivers. The village sits near the historic Chicago Portage, a land link between the Great Lakes and Mississippi River water systems, which was used for centuries until the construction of the I&M Canal. In 1856, the Chicago and Alton Railroad had finished building a rail line through the village, and in future years the Indiana Harbor Belt, Michigan Central, and Baltimore and Ohio Chicago Terminal would also serve the town. The Alton line eventually became host to Metro's Heritage Corridor line, and Amtrak's Lincoln Service and Texas Eagle trains. The station at Summit serves 7 daily Lincoln Service trains and 6 Metro trains on weekdays, making it the only Metro station to receive more Amtrak service than Metro service.
Alrighty, come on down. We're bumped out a little bit over there.
Summit saw 19,729 Amtrak riders in 2025.
Well, here's Summit. Not much here. There's a little enclosed waiting area. Another little shelter. Oh, we got another enclosed area over here. That's 2 enclosed areas. Oh, how fancy. It's really not much around. It's basically residential. There's like a park, the highway, and the river. I'm honestly not sure why Amtrak stops here. It's a very bare bones station, not a great walk shed, and I even looked on like Google Maps and stuff, and there doesn't really seem to be like a downtown area in Summit that I can really like, walk around and check out. Oh, isn't this just a lovely intersection?
Our next stop is still in Metro territory, Joliet. Joliet is a city in the southwest corner of Chicagoland, and is Illinois' third largest with a population of 150,362. Initially laid out as Juliet by James B. Campbell, treasurer of the aforementioned Illinois-Michigan Canal, there are competing theories as to where the name originated, whether from a familial relation, from Shakespeare, and a compliment to the nearby community of Romeo, now Romeoville, or to honor the French-Canadian explorer Louis Joliet. Whatever the origin, it was probably initially pronounced Juliet, and sometimes Joliet, until community officials declared it to be pronounced Joliet in the 1830s. The community name officially became Joliet in 1845, after it and Juliet had been used interchangeably in the years prior, and the city officially incorporated in 1852. The city first grew as a steel and manufacturing hub, and murals around downtown celebrate its past. The first Dairy Queen store opened in Joliet, and the Jacob A. Henry Mansion, once home to a wealthy railroad magnate, is on the National Register of Historic Places. The Rock Island Railroad first began service to Joliet all the way back in 1852. By 1885, 3 other rail lines also served Joliet, each with their own passenger depot. In the 1910s, a new Union station was built at the crossing of the rail lines to consolidate passenger traffic. The station was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1978, and served Amtrak trains until 2014. The current station, Joliet Gateway Center, was completed in 2018, and serves as the terminus for Metro's Rock Island and Heritage Corridor lines, as well as a major Pace bus hub. The city saw a nice 69,420 Amtrak riders in fiscal year 2025. The city is also a stopping point on the famous Route 66, and references to this can be seen throughout the city. Downtown sits next to the Des Plaines River on the east, and the city's Bicentennial Park, which features a section of Joliet's first sidewalks, is to the west. It is 9 in the morning, I have not eaten anything, and after walking around downtown, I'm a bit ravenous. Now when I came here with Caleb from Classy Whale, we went to this place called the Joliet Route 66 Diner, and I'm gonna go back there. Well, I'm really bad at pouring syrup apparently, but... So that was a really good breakfast, but you know, those pancakes left me a bit parched, a bit thirsty. This is stupid, I had water. Anyway, there's this coffee shop called Jitters and I'm going there. I do hope they have something that's not coffee because I don't drink coffee. Alright, I'm here at Jitters, which is like this local coffee shop. Really cool vibes in here. There's somebody just playing the guitar. That's very good. Very good. Again, loved the vibes in there. It was like super like cozy and chill in there. You know, and a lot of people were coming in, hanging out. The next stop is Dwight. The village of Dwight, Illinois was laid out on January 30th, 1854, by engineers of the Chicago and Mississippi Railroad, later the Chicago and Alton. The village was named for Henry Dwight, who had funded most of the construction of the railroad through the village. Dwight had the second lowest ridership in the state in fiscal year 2025, with only 4,964 passengers using the station, so it's no surprise I was the only one who got off my train and only one person got on. After watching the train leave, I headed to the west side of town for lunch at the old Route 66 family restaurant. The road that would become Route 66 was completed through Dwight in 1921, and the diner was covered in Route 66 memorabilia. After lunch, I headed back out and across the street to Ambler's Texaco gas station. This station was the longest operating gas station on Route 66, pumping gas from when it was built in 1933 all the way to 1999. The station continued to operate as an auto repair shop until 2002 when it closed. Currently, the station is now a visitor and information center. I headed up the street to the Crazy 80s Car Museum, a small museum with dozens of heritage and historic cars from the 70s and 80s in excellent condition. The owner was super knowledgeable and kept telling me cool details about each car in an amazing Midwestern accent.
Airports with great big pieces of property. Facebook is growing, and they got it'll talk about things. Those are cool. They're called oil lamps, and like I said, everybody had one in their living room back when I was growing up.
He said that they wanted to capture a moment in time of the cars of the 80s and had been building their collection for years. Alongside the cars were shelves of various 80s memorabilia and some kids' rides. The guy told me that there were at least a dozen other cars currently in storage, while they renovate and prepare another wing for them. I highly recommend coming to check out this cool little place, because it was also completely free. Oh yeah, and there was also this random CTA bus stop sign there. I don't know why it was there, but I definitely did not expect to see it. Looks like the stop code corresponds to 93rd and Oglesby, so there you go. After leaving the museum, I headed over to Renfrew Park, a large city park with multiple playgrounds, fields, and a pool. In 1860, Queen Victoria's son, Prince Albert, the Prince of Wales, stayed in Dwight for several days. While in the village, he went by one of his lesser titles, Lord Renfrew, but apparently people were not fooled and knew it was the prince. Later on, Prince Albert would become King Edward VII, and the grounds of the house where he stayed was gifted to the city, who made it into the city park. I finally headed towards downtown Dwight. The original passenger station, built in 1891, still stands next to the tracks and houses the Dwight Historical Society. Unfortunately, the Historical Society is only open a few hours for a few days each month, with the day I went not being one of them. Just across the street from the station is the First National Bank of Dwight, which is the only surviving one of only 3 banks designed by Frank Lloyd Wright. Next to the bank stands the Fox Developmental Center, an Illinois Department of Human Services residential facility, located in the old buildings of a hotel and the Keeley Institute. Founded by Dr. Leslie Keeley and Dwight in 1879, the Keeley Institute was one of the first institutions to treat alcoholism as a disease, rather than a fault of character, by offering the Keeley cure to alcoholism. The cure was kept secret, but scholars believe the patients would receive injections of bichloride of gold 4 times daily, and individually prescribed tonics every 2 hours throughout the day. Overall, the treatment lasted 4 weeks. The Keeley Institute found great success, and eventually grew to have over 200 branches across the United States and Europe. Those in the medical field view the institute with heavy skepticism, especially due to the secrecy of its methods. Ultimately, the institute shut down in 1965, after treating more than 400,000 patients. Amtrak service to Dwight began October 27, 1986, and used the old station in town. Exactly 30 years later, on October 27, 2016, the new Amtrak station opened as part of a large-scale renovation project of the corridor. It was nice to be in an air-conditioned waiting room that was bright, clean, and modern, especially since my return train was late. The next stop is Pontiac. The city of Pontiac was established in July 1837 to become the county seat of Livingston County. The courthouse was completed a decade later, and passenger rail service began in the city in 1854. The name likely comes from Pontiac, Michigan, which itself was named for Chief Pontiac of the Ottawa. The first settler of Pontiac, Jesse Fell, was himself from Pontiac, Michigan.
Wait, I thought this was an Amtrak video. Where are we going?
We're going to Joliet on the Metro Rock Island District.
Why are we going to Joliet?
Because it was $20 cheaper to book a ticket to Pontiac from Joliet rather than going all the way from Union Station.
Wow, I love Amtrak.
Next stop, Joliet.
The next stop is Joliet.
Got a lot of people. Who's bored and who's going south?
All right. Here's the station. No time to review it though, because gotta catch a bus that hopefully exists.
That hopefully the bus shows up.
Pontiac is one of a few cities served by Showbus, a transit system operating in 9 counties in central Illinois. We were hoping to use the hourly Pontiac limited stop service, which is what we thought we were boarding.
It is right on time though. It is right on time.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have exactly enough for like 2 fares.
That's all we're gonna need is there and back. Hey, how you doing?
Alright.
$2?
No.
Nope.
Coffee.
So they didn't take our fare free apparently.
I hope that this music doesn't give you video copyright.
Don't know. When will you be back here? Like 55?
Somewhere around there.
Okay.
Got you.
Thank you. Show bus? Okay. El Dorado. Oh no. So we got on the bus, didn't take our fare, and we went directly to Walmart, even though we were supposed to make like 5
Yeah, we skipped like
stops.
like multiple deviations and we got shuttled straight to Walmart.
So, no fare and direct service. I mean,
And it was on time, at least at the train station. It came here 15 minutes early.
yeah, so
Yeah.
So it's a scheduled route with scheduled stops that theoretically cost $2. Didn't take our fare, and again, what about all the stops like between the station and Walmart?
Still somewhat confused by the bus, we made our way over to Wally's by Sage's recommendation. One of only 3 in existence, the others are near St. Louis and Indianapolis, Wally's offers not just a fill-up, but merch, snacks, and whole meals.
This is the greatest thing I've ever seen. They have branded bandages.
Imagine having someone over and like your friend gets a cut and then you're like, hang on, I got bandages for you. And you pull out this shit. They have Wally's beer. It's a walk-in beer cooler.
Oh my god.
You're not gonna see me for a while. Who am I to deny some day drinking in Pontiac, Illinois?
Okay, we got some chips. I'm gonna, they're like hot and fresh.
Hot, fresh Wally's chips
That's so good. That's so good.
for $3.50. I got the Wally dog.
It looks like a hot dog with,
Okay.
does it have anything on it?
It's very plain. I think to be fair, they did have a little condiment bar. But for $3.50, it's not bad. Like a 7.5 out of 10. I bought the Wally's Big Hoss Light Lager beer at the hour of almost 12:30 in the afternoon. It's like It's like a PBR, but it tastes more bad.
After a fruitful excursion to Wally's, we're headed back to Walmart to hopefully catch the bus again. Alright, so it's about 6 minutes past the scheduled time the bus is supposed to be here. We saw it driving earlier and we think that was it leaving.
It definitely just skipped the Walmart deviation, even though we like talked to the bus driver.
Even though I asked, hey, when will you be back at Walmart? So I'm breaking my official rule of not taking an Uber because I'm sorry, but I don't want to walk an hour. I guess the bus didn't show up. I think that's the bus.
No, it said show bus on it. It said show bus on the front.
Sage, how would you rate your show bus ride?
The one that we just got out of.
Yeah.
Oh, five stars, $3 tip.
Pontiac straddles the Vermilion River and offers 3 pedestrian swinging bridges that span the waterway, the earliest of which was built in the 1900s.
Oh yeah, it's swinging.
Oh man. Oh, I don't know if I like that.
Oh, it's very pretty. What river is this?
The Vermilion River?
The Mississippi?
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish that Amtrak Missouri River Runner Lincoln Service train number 318 becomes on time.
This is the place we're gonna go to for lunch, and yeah, it's like a proper restaurant, but they're closed on Monday.
Route 4, the first paved highway between Chicago and St. Louis, followed the railroad through Pontiac. In 1925, the road was renamed to Route 66. Pontiac hosts the Route 66 Hall of Fame Museum, which is full of memorabilia and artifacts from the Mother Road. One of the exhibits is the Bob Waldmeyer Volkswagen minibus, which was the inspiration for the character Fillmore in Cars. Born in St. Louis, Bob Waldmeyer attended Southern Illinois University, where he began to create bird's-eye drawings of cities, including one of the entire state of Illinois. Eventually, he became enamored with Route 66 and used the Volkswagen to traverse the road, creating art and exploring the rich history of the route. There's an interview with the now late Bob on YouTube that I'll link in the description below, but this isn't the last we'll see of Bob and his art in the video. Oh, that's cool. You see like the murals on the back of the buildings. Pontiac also features a car museum, the Pontiac Oakland Car Museum, which had more than just cars to see.
She is the, yeah. It's Chip. He has a brother named Ernie.
Aw.
Chip. Chip.
Oh.
Chip.
Exchanging information.
Chip, bro. Oh, Ernie's coming out. I'm sorry if I got your
Oh, no, all good. Oh, right there. No, I don't want anything to do with you.
No, they don't.
Aside from the kitties, the museum naturally had many different models of car from Pontiac, a division of General Motors, until the brand was discontinued in 2010. The division derived its name from the same Ottawa chief as the city.
Wait a minute. That's not a car. Got another swinging bridge. This one has like a nice little plaza. This one's pretty long. This one's like, I think, the longest one.
It's also like tall. Like we are like high up off the water. Okay. This is very wobbly.
Yeah?
I guess that's the point. But
It is a swinging bridge.
There are large gaps between each wood plank, and I can just see the water beneath me.
This is like the bridge that Horton had to cross, and Horton hears a who.
We're almost there. Oh, just made a huge creek when I stepped over it.
Well, we made it.
Land.
We do have to go back across.
What the dog doing?
Hello? Say something.
The Texas Eagle.
I think that's the old station building. I'm not entirely sure.
Cellar.
The original passenger depot in Pontiac was built between 1913 and 1915 by the Chicago and Alton Railroad, and sits just to the north of the current station, which was built in 2017. The old building now hosts a bar and a pizza restaurant, while the new station saw 14,840 Amtrak riders in fiscal year 2025.
I'm a fan of this, like, outdoor viewing platform atrium area.
This reminds me of the Belmont station on the NSF. They have like this. Oh, there's a stink bug.
Well, let's not smush it then. I wish there was more seating is the first thing, honestly, but...
This is my favorite part.
Oh, I love that. It looks like there was supposed to be 2 vending machines here, but one of them is,
I feel like everything in here is very expired.
This reminds me a lot of the Carlinville station, which you haven't seen yet, but I went to that one first because I'm doing these out of order. It reminds me a lot of the Carlinville one, just a little bit bigger.
I'd give it a 6 out of 10. Maybe 6.5 maybe. Waterfront review?
Sure.
It works. It's cold.
That's good.
Good waterfront.
Next on the line is Bloomington-Normal. Bloomington was founded in 1831 and has a population of 78,680. The home of insurance giant State Farm, Illinois Wesleyan University, and the producer of beer nuts, Bloomington also has its roots in national history, as prominent resident Jesse W. Fell, the same Fell who founded our last stop, Pontiac, played a significant role in the Lincoln-Douglas debates, and Lincoln's eventual run for president. The town of Normal was founded in 1865 by Fell. With a population of 52,736, it's the smaller of the Twin Cities, but hosts the Amtrak station in its downtown area, which is called Uptown. The town is named after the oldest public university in Illinois, the Illinois State Normal University. Now Illinois State University, the campus is just steps from the train station. The existing rail line through the Twin Cities was first built by the Chicago and Alton Railroad, and intersected with an Illinois Central line that was later abandoned and converted into a hiking and biking trail. The town of Normal was built around this intersection, and the station sits at the former junction. This station, Uptown Station in Normal, opened in 2012 and serves 8 Amtrak Lincoln Service trains and 2 Texas Eagle trains daily, as well as acting as a hub for the region's bus system Connect Transit. This intermodal hub replaced an Amtrak across the street, which itself replaced an old and dilapidated depot in Bloomington. The station is the 3rd busiest station in the state, seeing 230,448 riders in fiscal year 2025.
Okay, if you're gonna have a electronic bell, can you at least use a sample that doesn't just cut off? I've been here before, but I love the vibe of downtown Normal. Restaurants and stuff down that way. Stations like right there. I mean, just beyond the nice streets you have like parking.
Normal was originally referred to as North Bloomington or the Junction, referring to the meeting of the Chicago and Alton and Illinois Central Railroads. However, it was renamed after the Illinois State Normal University was established in the area in 1857, making it the oldest public university in the state. A normal school is one that focuses on training and educating teachers, and Illinois State kept the Normal in its name for over 100 years. In 1964, the school changed its name to Illinois State University at Normal, then simply Illinois State University in 1967 to reflect the growing curriculum at the institution, although the school still has a strong focus on teacher education. The university's mascot is the Redbirds, chosen over Cardinals to avoid confusion with St. Louis's baseball team.
Why is bro so angry? Like, here's the transit system for Bloomington-Normal, Connect Transit. One clerical note, I'm here during summer break, so that's why the campus is so empty. Here's the main quad.
ISU is home to one of Altgeld's castles, a collection of Gothic revival structures at 5 public Illinois universities, all built under the direction or inspiration of Illinois Governor John P. Altgeld, who aimed to improve the aesthetic appearance as well as the functionality of buildings. ISU's castle, Cook Hall, was built in 1898 under the direction of Altgeld.
Thank you. I'm here on Juneteenth, which just so happened to be the day I was available to go on this trip. And I really hope this place I'm going to is open, because I could see it being closed in honor of the day. So I guess we'll see.
Thankfully, it was open. This is Sprague's Super Service Station, another historic gas station built along Route 66. Opened in 1931, this Tudor revival-style station pumped gas until 1979, being restored and converted into a museum and gift shop in 2016. Said gift shop sold something I was very excited to see.
So if you remember the really cool Illinois poster that we saw in Pontiac, I wanted to get one, but they didn't sell them there, but they sold them here. So I got one for myself and one for Sage, because Sage also wanted one. So I'm really glad they were open. Super cool. So it seems like that these maps are standard, or at least they're on quite a few stops. But again, just put the routes on the sign so someone can tell from a distance what routes stop where. So I didn't want to film her without her consent, but another passenger got off the bus and she had a freaking bird on her shoulder. I didn't see the bird when I got on. Did she have that the entire time? Can you take birds on Connect Transit? That was just so unexpected. I'm gonna walk around, but first I'm gonna grab some lunch.
My chosen lunch spot, Rosie's Pub, is located in the building which once housed the law office of David Davis, close friend of Abraham Lincoln.
I always love when they do this with the knife. It's so violent. These fries are very good. I don't know what the seasoning is, but it is very good. All right, just came out of lunch. Very good. Definitely recommend Rosie's if you ever find yourself in Bloomington, right next to the bus stop area. So I have some time before my silver bus, which I'm going to take over to Miller Park. So I'm gonna walk around downtown Bloomington. I've said it before and I'll say it again, downtown Bloomington just has some incredible buildings. This is the McLean County Courthouse, which has the McLean County Museum of History, which I'm going to visit after I go to the park. So I made it back just in time for the pulse, but the route I'm taking doesn't leave during the pulse. It leaves like 15 minutes after the hour. And I'm waiting over here just on the sidewalk because there's shade over here, and the actual bus stop is just some benches with no shelter. Well, I mean, I've got to walk under it. Now I am the Route 66. So there's a sidewalk from down there up to this roundabout, and then there's a cross here, but there's no sidewalk this way and no sidewalk this way. Because why would somebody want to walk to the park from the street? So I want to go on that bridge. There's like a family of geese. And they have babies. And I don't feel like incurring the wrath of a goose today. Let me see if I can just like sneak around. I'll look at them, not bothering them. Okay, we're good. So there is a zoo here, which I'm not going to visit because I've actually already visited the zoo on this channel. And that video includes, I think, one of the best bits I've done that I completely forgot about. Nickel Plate Road when the Dime Bowl Street shows up or something, I don't know. There's the bus stop. Once again, there's no shelter, so I've taken to waiting under this tree.
The museum was free since I visited on Juneteenth. And what a deal, because this museum was quite substantial, with multiple exhibits all showcasing different aspects of past life and the region's history.
This used to be the courthouse until 1976, and they built a new one, and then they converted this into a museum. And it seems pretty substantial. There's like 3 levels and a bunch of exhibits, so let's take a look. This better not get me copyright struck. see how tall I really am. 5'6". No, I'm 5'7". Come on. There's something about like just old packaging it's just very interesting. It's definitely very different than current packaging, but also kind of the same. It all comes back to Lincoln. Oh my God. So that was super cool. A lot of cool exhibits, and I only filmed some of it because got to give you a reason to come here. But no, I highly recommend. I was really lucky because it was free, I think, because of the holiday. I think usually it's about a $10 admission, but honestly, if you have the time, I'd say it's definitely worth it. There's a lot of cool stuff in there.
While Normal is home to ISU, Bloomington hosts Illinois Wesleyan University, a private undergraduate campus founded in 1850. Its name comes from John Wesley, founder of the Wesleyan theology of the Methodist Church, one of the primary sponsors of the institution.
I need to catch the gold route, which is a loop, so there's like a counterclockwise and a clockwise direction. And the one I need is in like 50 minutes. The other direction's in like 15. So I could catch that and then just ride it the long way around. But I was trying to figure out what it does. I might be wrong, but I think it does like a loop. So like it does a counterclockwise loop, and then it does a clockwise, and then it does counterclockwise. So it's just one bus going like back and forth. I don't know if that's what it does, but like looking at the schedule and stuff, that seems to suggest that's what it does. I decided I'm gonna grab the bus going in the other direction because eventually it's gonna end up going where I need to go. That took 45 minutes. I could have walked here in about 10, but it's hot and I'm not in a rush. I don't know if they only run one bus because of funding issues or like a driver shortage, or they don't have enough buses or whatever, what the reason is. I think they should prioritize getting another bus on that route so they can just run one bus on the loop in each direction and just have it keep going in that direction. It takes a bus 30 minutes to do the loop in one direction. So if they add a bus going on the loop in each direction, then you could have the route be every 30 minutes instead of every hour. I don't know if anybody at Connect Transit is watching this. I don't know why you do it this way, but as a infrequent rider, I definitely would recommend adding a second bus and just having them go around.
I eventually made my way to the Constitution Trail, a 37-mile hiking and biking trail that opened in 1989 and mostly follows the path of the old Illinois Central.
This is the Constitution Trail. This used to be part of the Illinois Central, and honestly this is a super nice trail. It's like super shaded, which is especially useful on a day like today. This just comes up into someone's backyard. I mean, I guess you can go to the street over there, but interesting that there's just stairs here. So here the trail actually splits, and I think that was a branch line which came off this. I think this was the main line. But yeah, the Constitution Trail is actually like very long because you have like this main line, then you have the branches. That's cute. I like that. Another thing that's pretty cool about the Constitution Trail is that it drops you off right at the Amtrak station. And there it is. And the old one. This is a bona fide Amtrak. Obviously it's not in use anymore because you have the new station. Yeah, it looks like it's just sitting there closed. Although I'm back at the station, my train isn't for another 3 hours, and that's including the almost hour and a half delay coming from Kansas City. Well, it's 5 o'clock, my train's still about an hour and a half out, so I've come up here, kind of the north bit of uptown, to grab some dinner. There's this chicken place. Apparently there's only 2 locations, one in Alton and then one here, so I guess we'll see how it is. It's pretty good. It definitely tasted more like real chicken than like fast food chicken, if that makes any sense. Pieces were like huge. I got 3 because I thought they would be kind of normal, tender size. No, they were huge. Fries were all right. Like they're kind of like almost like smaller steak fries, and I don't like steak fries. I like my fries to be kind of like crispier instead of, you know, kind of soft and potato-y. The breadstick, I didn't like whatever they had on top. I don't know what it was exactly. So that was unfortunate, but overall pretty solid. However, there is a place over by the station that I've been told has some pretty good ice cream, so I'm heading over there. I got the s'mores sundae because I'm a sucker for anything s'mores related. It is a lot of marshmallow topping, but I think it's 2 scoops of vanilla ice cream with marshmallow topping, hot fudge, and graham crackers. That tastes really good, but it tastes like it's really bad for me. Also, I've gotten like no fewer than 4 texts, emails, and app notifications regarding the delayed status of my train throughout the day, which, I mean, I joke, but it's good communication. It's good that they're keeping me up to date. I mean, it sucks that it's being delayed, but like, it's good that they're communicating that it is, and consistently communicating, so you don't get like one notification and 5 hours later you're like, what's going on?
That was apparently the last thing I filmed at Bloomington-Normal. So, on to the next stop. It's only natural that the Lincoln service stops in Lincoln, Illinois, which was actually named for Lincoln before he became president. Founded in 1853, Abe attended the dedication of the community, christening the town by cutting a watermelon and pouring its juice on the ground.
Hello, welcome to Lincoln. We were about 15 minutes late, which isn't great. It's going to make my already tight schedule a bit tighter. But we're here now, and it's lunchtime, and I'm pretty hungry, so let's get some lunch. These are such thick poles and such a big sign for that. Waffle fries are my weakness, and these look amazing. I like how I grabbed the one that's like not a waffle. Just came out of, I think it was Foxhole Pub and Grill or Pub and Grub, something like that. Peak small town vibes. There were only a few people in there, but like these two ladies came in, immediately started chatting with the waitress. Pretty good food. I got, you know, my classic burger and fries, but as you saw, they had the waffle fries. Those were so good. Oh my gosh. I'm now heading down to downtown Lincoln. It's just right here. I think I'll walk around here a bit, and then there are a few museums I'm gonna walk to. There's a lot of walking. Now, originally I was gonna do this last week, but it was like single digit temperatures, and now it's like 20. It's like balmy out here, so I decided to come now.
As the county seat, Lincoln's downtown features the Logan County Courthouse. City Hall to the east also includes the fire department, who installed a phone booth on the roof in the 1960s.
Oh my gosh, they put a Christmas tree in the phone booth. That's amazing.
The booth was reportedly used to spot severe weather, with a direct phone connection to downstairs. If whoever was in the booth spotted bad weather, they could call and have the siren activated.
I didn't even notice the big ol' thing of white out in the window. This town has not one, but two theaters. Although it looks like that one is still operating, and this one has probably seen better days. This is one detriment to doing this in winter, along with the cold. Oh my gosh. Come on now, it's like you can't even tell there's a sidewalk. Maybe there isn't a sidewalk, maybe I'm just walking on the side of the road. And other places are clear, like of course the driveways are cleared. Maybe there isn't a sidewalk here. Maybe I just made that up. It's not like I can tell. And I mean, let me get this clear, Chicago is not exempt from this. When you leave it up to individual building owners, some are just not gonna do it. That's why it needs to be a civic citywide ordinance to plow the sidewalks along with the streets. I know I'm gonna get angry comments. I don't care. Plow the damn sidewalks. All right, at least we get some sidewalk here. My God, it's so nice to walk on a flat surface and not have to trudge through snow. That being said, despite the sidewalk frustrations, it is very nice. You know, it's quiet. The snow makes everything look very pretty. There theoretically is a bus that could have taken me closer to where I'm walking right now, but I had just missed the scheduled time. It was going to pick up downtown, and it's the same company that runs the bus in Pontiac. You know, if you remember, didn't really go too well. I decided to just walk instead.
I made my way through the snow to the mill on 66. A restaurant originally called the Blue Mill that opened in 1929. The restaurant closed in 1986 and sat empty until 2017, when it reopened as a museum.
So it does say open noon to 4 Tuesday through Saturday. The open sign isn't on, but it's Wednesday, and it's 2 o'clock, like smack in the middle of their opening hours. Saw something that said try the back door, so maybe I'll try this door, but yeah, that doesn't say open. Might not be open. Yeah, that's locked. Can we see anything in there? Yeah, I don't think it's open right now. Oh, that looks so cool though. Oh man. Probably volunteers. Can't get too upset, but it is unfortunate. Especially because I walked here all the way from downtown. I doubt this door is open, but we might give it a try. Yeah. Well, that sucks. I don't know. It seems like it's just kind of open whenever. That's unfortunate. On the little windmill thing, the actual mill is gone too. Ah, that's unfortunate. They're probably more regularly open in the summer, if I had to guess. I know I joked about it earlier, but I know if I did this a week ago like I was planning, I would be absolutely miserable. It's still cold, but it's manageable. Sidewalk situation has not gotten better, even though we seem to be on a more major road with more traffic. It doesn't look like there are any crosswalks or, in fact, any pedestrian anything at this intersection. There's show bus, which I could have taken, I guess. All that for the world's largest covered wagon. It apparently has Abe Lincoln in it, because of course it does. Hey Abe, how you doing? You know, there's a Days Inn right over there. You don't have to be out in the cold.
The irony of the covered wagon not being covered was not lost on me.
Why would there be a sidewalk here, legitimately? Who is gonna be stupid enough to walk along here? Realistically, these, especially these Route 66 ones, obviously they're centered around the highway, right? They're centered around people who are driving, so they're, you know, you're meant to drive to them, not take Amtrak from Chicago and then walk half an hour. What's funny is I'm filming this a year or something after the Springfield trip, and we did that in the summer or when it was warmer, so it's gonna be whiplash going from this to, you know, green trees and happiness and warmth. Oh, I guess the fairgrounds are out here. Obviously there's no fair. There's a plaque. There's a plaque-wee over there. Let's go see what the plaque-wee says. This trail is a place for exercise, reflection, and healing. I guess I can see some semblance of a trail. Well, I mean, it's nice to have an actual paved surface. Again, this probably looks wonderful in the summer. Oh look, there's a gazebo for a little rest area. I'm sorry, Lincoln doesn't deserve this much shit. It's my fault for doing this in February. Oh, wonderful, joyous day. There's a drainage canal of some sort. Do not fall in there. If I fall in there, you won't see this video, because I'll give up and I will go into those woods and you'll never hear from me again. This sign is what I walked all the way up here to see. The nature of the sign seems very ironic considering the state of the weather currently.
This sign advertised a Tropics restaurant, which opened in 1950 along Route 66 and served family and short order fare. The restaurant lasted until 2014, when it was torn down. The sign was saved, however, and was moved to its current spot in 2018.
We've got an old school Dairy Queen. It's treat only, just a walk up. Okay, is it just me, or is one side longer than the other? I've never noticed that, and that bothers me. Why is it not symmetrical? So you've got Annie's. It's right next to Bella's. They should just keep going on. Each place, in alphabetical order. So you got Annie's, Bella's, Catherine's, Darlene's. Just keep going. Oh my gosh. It's Daphne's. I mean, we skipped C, but they're going with the theme. Tiny little drive-up coffee shop.
On my way back to downtown, I passed by the log chapel, built by the nearby church, and is open to the public 24/7.
Oh my gosh, this cookie is huge. Here's my hand. Here's the cookie. Just spent some time at Guest House, coffee shop, cafe. Got like a hot chocolate and stuff. Nice vibes, and the hot chocolate was pretty good. It had like notes of like cinnamon stuff, pretty good. Now I'm going to head over to the historic Amtrak station, then check out the new station.
The original depot built by the Chicago and Alton houses the current Amtrak station. Built in 1911, the depot initially closed to passengers in 1972, being reused as a restaurant and catering hall. The depot was bought by the city in 2014, was restored, and reopened as a passenger station at the end of 2017. Lincoln had 18,239 Amtrak riders in fiscal year 2025.
So it seems like the actual station building is that bit over there. Well, I mean, they've got a sign and everything, but I don't know, just after that experience in Pontiac, I don't trust it. I didn't film much inside the station because there are other people there, but there's like a couple benches, restrooms. It's kind of small, pretty bare bones, but I mean, it's got all the, basic amenities there. Everyone, mark your calendars for August 27th, 2153.
Museum, a museum established by the now-closed Lincoln College, devoted to the life and legacy of the 16th president. I unfortunately did not have the time to walk over and visit the museum, though I hope you can forgive me because our next stop is even more all about Abe. Illinois' capital was incorporated as a town in 1832, and then as a city in 1840. Its name comes from Spring Creek, a waterway on the north side of the city off of the Sangamon River, where the first settlers laid roots. One of the founders had also spent time in Washington County, Kentucky, whose county seat is also named Springfield. The name was chosen in 1821, but was changed to Calhoun in 1823, for then future Vice President John C. Calhoun. This didn't last long, as the name was reverted back to Springfield in 1825, when the area was selected as the county seat. Lincoln moved to Springfield in 1837, and he, along with 8 other legislators, successfully petitioned to designate Springfield as Illinois' third capital that same year, with state offices moving there 2 years later. This group was known as the Long Nine, because they were all over 6 feet tall, and that is the best thing I've heard all day. Lincoln lived in Springfield until 1861, when he left for Washington, D.C. Today, Springfield boasts a population of 114,394.
Hi, we're going to Springfield.
Take care. Have a good day.
Springfield was a major railroad hub, at one time hosting 5 separate passenger terminals, 3 of which still stand. The current Amtrak station is located in the old Chicago and Alton depot, built in 1895. Springfield had 159,999 Amtrak riders in fiscal year 2025. Springfield is served by the Sangamon Mass Transit District, which operates 18 regular routes in and around the city. The agency recently completed the construction of a new transfer center on the east side of town in 2025, which is served by both SMTD and intercity buses. There are plans to construct a new Amtrak station directly to the west of the bus station, replacing a parking lot and creating a centralized intermodal transportation center and community area. The new station is currently expected to open in 2027, and Amtrak trains will take a new route through the city. Just east of the Amtrak station is the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum. Directly west of the library sits Springfield's historic Union Station, one of the city's many old passenger terminals. Union Station opened in 1898 and saw trains from the Baltimore and Ohio, Chicago, Peoria, and St. Louis, Illinois Central, and Northern Railways. It closed in 1971 and was refurbished and rebuilt in 2006. The old state capitol is a short walk south from the station. This building served as Illinois State House from 1839 to 1876 and was a venue for Lincoln's House Divided speech. Nearby is Lincoln's old law office, where he practiced from 1843 to 1852 with his partner William Herndon. The building is used today as a museum and visitor center. The other remaining station in the city is the Great Western Railroad Depot, where Lincoln began his journey to DC after being elected president.
So we're having lunch, right? And the place has this like special they call it marshmallow dipping sauce, right? It's so good. The only way I can explain it is if you've ever had Pizza Hut's cinnamon sticks. This smells like the icing, and it tastes like you took one of those and dipped it in icing. It's so good. And you think it wouldn't work with the fries, because these are like salty and like oily, and this is like sweet, but it does. It's so good. It is so good.
After having lunch at a restaurant that unfortunately seems to be permanently closed, we cross the street into the Lincoln Home Historic Site, which contains not only Lincoln's Springfield home, but also 12 acres of the surrounding neighborhood. Lincoln's actual home was unfortunately locked, and I'm not sure why, as it should be open to the public. We instead looked around the neighborhood and were able to enter in some of the other historic houses.
I realize the majority of the Springfield segment is just going to be about Lincoln, but I mean that's what like most of the tourism in Springfield is Lincoln. So we just stopped in the Lincoln home visitor center. They had a little gift shop. Ben got a pin. I got something not Lincoln related, I don't think.
What is this? Gibraltar's?
Peppermint Gibraltar's. So it's candy. The cashier said it's like one big block, and I can feel it. So
why is it one big block?
We'll see how this goes. So okay. It smells like a mint. Do I bite it? Oh, it's like those, those like little round mints that like the fancy restaurants have?
Yep.
That's what this reminds me of. That's basically what it is. It's like a big mint.
Oh.
And I think it's gonna forever be on my teeth now.
Springfield is also home to the Governor's Mansion, as well as the Frank Lloyd Wright designed Dana Thomas House, built in the early 1900s. The city, of course, also houses the Illinois Legislature in the State Capitol building, a grand structure that took over from the old Capitol in 1876. From the Capitol, we move on to our next stop of Carlinville. Named for State Senator and 7th Governor of Illinois Thomas Carlin, Carlinville is a city of 5,710 people. Founded in 1829, the city is allegedly the only place named Carlinville in the world. Mainly a farming and agricultural community, Carlinville was also host to many coal mines. The Standard Oil of Indiana Company built a neighborhood in the northeast part of town, named the Standard Addition, to house workers. This neighborhood is the largest single collection of Sears kit homes. House building kits you could literally buy from a catalog.
Thank you.
Carlinville's downtown square surrounds a public park and is a brick-paved commercial hub with quite a few cool buildings. I didn't visit, but Carlinville is also home to Blackburn College, a private 4-year work college established in 1837, and the Macoupin County Historical Society, which was closed the day I visited. This is the Macoupin County Courthouse, whose construction is somewhat of a scandal. The building costs more than double what it should have, because the 4-man court commission gave themselves an abnormally large allowance for travel and other expenses. When construction on the courthouse was ultimately stopped in 1870, the final cost was almost $1.4 million, and it became known as the $1 Million Courthouse. According to the county's website, one commissioner was even seen escaping town carrying a carpet bag, purportedly filled with money meant for the courthouse. No one ever saw him again. When the debt for the building was finally paid off in 1910, there was a 2-day celebration. Despite the shadiness and secrecy behind its construction, when it opened in 1870, it was one of the largest in the country and still operates as a courthouse for Macoupin County. Just across the street sits the old Macoupin County Jail. Built in 1869 along with the courthouse, the jail was built using the cannonball method, which utilized cannonballs to reinforce the walls and make it nearly impossible to break out. After escaping from jail, I went back to go check out the station. The Chicago and Alton Railroad reached Carlinville on July 1st, 1852, although the original station was demolished in 1900. Carlinville was also served by the Litchfield, Carrollton, and Western, which got absorbed by the Chicago and Alton in 1932, and the Illinois Traction System, an interurban network across central Illinois. A new station building opened in November 2017, replacing a small shelter as part of large-scale station and track upgrades along the Lincoln service route. The city had 9,349 Amtrak riders in fiscal year 2025. Our next and final stop is Alton. Founded in 1818, the city of Alton in Madison County is located directly on the Mississippi River, with a population of 25,676. The city is named for the son of the city's founder, Missouri Attorney General Rufus Easton.
We are now departing. Alton. Next stop, St. Louis. Stop and scan your e-tickets. Please have them ready. Together with your
I didn't know that they played the announcements on the external speakers. That just makes it all the more annoying. Hello and welcome to a beautiful day in Alton, Illinois. We are about 20-25 minutes late, which isn't the best, but it's not a huge deal. It's about 20 minutes until the bus I was gonna catch, so I'm gonna go ahead and review the station. I mean, first off, this platform, it looks pretty new. It's very nice. I think this whole facility is relatively new. It is kind of far from downtown. I think unfortunately that's just kind of how the tracks were. And again, there are bus connections here. I like that they have an entire signpost just for this do not enter, which isn't even facing the right way. Like, you would think that would be facing like the sidewalk, as in where people would actually be walking. The new Alton Regional Multimodal Transportation Center opened in 2017 and replaced a 1928 Chicago and Alton Railroad Depot, which was demolished that same year. Tickets, vending machines, the transit agency, which has a big bus hub here, and you have a lot of seating, restrooms. This is very nice. Out there's the bus station. Well, I mean, if they're offering paper schedules, then I'm going to take paper schedules. The station is served by both Amtrak and Madison County Transit, who operates fixed route and paratransit services in the western part of the county. Alton had 75,548 Amtrak riders in fiscal year 2025. Runabout is their, I believe, their like dial-a-ride service. And like, it's a good name, but I can only think of one thing whenever I see it.
A runabout. I'll steal it! No one will ever know! No one will ever know! No one will ever know! No one will ever know!
So they have the routes up there. I kind of wish they had like a little sign or something hanging down so you could see which route stops where as you're like walking down. And I think also like a map would be nice. Like maybe at each stop have like a little route map or something, like right there. But I mean, other than that, like, it's structurally, it's a nice facility. There's seating, it's all sheltered. So this is actually a completely new transit system for me. I've never ridden it before. And the first route I'm taking is going to be the 8. But I'm only taking it a few stops to get from here to kind of across the street so I can grab the 9, which is going where I actually want to go. I have a day pass, it's $5, same as CTA, so might as well grab the 8. And pretty much MCT's entire fleet are Gilligs, so if you're a fan of Gilligs, you're gonna like this segment. So they do schedule a pulse here, so I think like the 8, the 10, the 7, I think all the routes come here and they do like a pulse. Thank you, you too. It's about 4 minutes to the 9, so bus stop review. Yeah, they are signed. They don't have any route information, which isn't great. All right, there she is. All right, we're on the 9, and we're on this bus for quite a while. So you know I had to get the Gillig bar seat. Okay, so we just passed a stop sign, a bus stop sign that actually had the route on it. So maybe some of them do and some of them don't. Thanks, have a good one.
I stopped for lunch at Fast Eddie's Bon Air, a tavern founded in 1921 by the Anheuser-Busch Company. After a change in the law forced the company to sell the establishment, it was owned by the Balacco family until 1981, when the eponymous Fast Eddie bought the bar. Both he and his son expanded the building and the menu, and the bar continues to be a popular locale.
So this place is definitely like drink focused. I think it's mainly a bar, but they do have a selection of food, and just coming in, it looked and smelled amazing. So I am hoping that it is, because I'm very hungry. All right, this burger looks fantastic, and these fries look like classic fries, so I'm going to dig in. Okay, can't say I've ever seen a bun like this. I know it doesn't look appetizing, but like this is all very good. Just got out of Fast Eddie's Bon Air. Food was very good, burger was good, the fries were really good as well. Trying to catch the 1, and Google and Transit say the stop is there, but on the 9 they let me off up here, and I didn't see a sign over there, so I'm gonna go back to this stop. So we're in the part of Southern Illinois where there's more topography. So where I come from, the land isn't allowed to do this, but down here, I guess it is. I see the bus. Please let the stop be here and let me on. Have a good one. So this is the Alton bus station. Looks like they've got, I think that's e-ink, maybe? Whatever it is, I don't think it's right because it is not 5:34 in the morning. There is an actual facility. All right, yeah, that one is accurate. So they have real-time information, some seating. That's about it. I mean, they've got the schedules here as well. It's functionally very similar to the one at the Amtrak station. You have the different bays for the different routes. Though these are a little easier to see because as you're walking in the middle, you can actually kind of see the signs kind of from the side. I love that it's all sheltered. Yeah, it's a very nice station. And I think they have stations like this in a lot of the kind of the main cities that they serve. So I've just realized that I am actually very behind schedule and I only have about 30 minutes for the bus I want to grab. So I'm going to walk quickly. Again, with like Northern Illinois, well, pretty much most of the rest of Illinois being so flat, you don't really get topography and like buildings on hills like this. So this is like really cool to see. And it's cool that Illinois is kind of, you know, it's mainly flat, but it's also got kind of these more hillier spots. Max on 4th, Max OTB, Max Biergarten. Seems like Max owns this entire street. Oh man, look at how cool that building is. Just look at that elevation. Like that's like Pittsburgh levels.
Institutions such as a large operational wheat mill next to downtown highlight the city's continued industrial economy. Many of the streets are brick paved, as the city hosted many brick factories. Near the mill is a wall from the first state prison built in Illinois, opened in 1833 and closed in 1860. It was reopened in 1862 as the Alton Military Prison to house Confederate prisoners from the Civil War. A mural honors jazz legend Miles Davis, who was born in Alton, and a memorial near the river commemorates the 7th and final Lincoln-Douglas debate, which was held in the city. The area that would become Alton was first settled by the Illinois Native Americans, indicated by a petroglyph of the Piasa bird, a creature from Native American mythology, on a cliff near the river. While the original painting was unfortunately destroyed, a replica was created in 1998 on a cliff northeast of downtown.
Welcome to another segment of buildings that I think look really cool, laid over some lo-fi music. This is cool. I guess this is the old post office and they turned it into kind of like a cafe sort of deal. Got a lovely little public park here. Alright, so thankfully the bus I'm going to get stops up here on this street, so I'm just going to grab it from this street up here. And the reason I don't want to miss it is because it's hourly and I'm already kind of behind schedule. There's more of Alton's downtown that I didn't get to see, and I'll see if I can't come back to take a look at that, because there's like there's more stuff to the east of where I was, and I saw it coming in on the one, so I'll see if I can't get over there or film it out like the bus window or something. Can you tell I'm out of breath? I'm not used to climbing up things. We've made it here to the stop. Does not tell you what route stops here, but I'm pretty sure the 11, which is what I'm grabbing, stops here. Okay, so that was the 9. So the 11 shouldn't be far behind. All right, yeah, there it is. All right, cool. Now you may be asking, Stormy, why did you go to the Southern Illinois University School of Dental Medicine in Alton, Illinois? Well, let me show you. This is Robert Wadlow, the tallest person ever recorded, and was born here in Alton.
Robert Wadlow was the tallest man ever recorded, reaching a height of 8 feet 11 inches at his death in 1940 when he was 22.
So I originally was planning on going to the Alton Square Mall, check that out, and then head out. But I think I'd rather go back downtown to check out more of downtown then go to some mall. So I'm walking this way so I can catch the 9, which will take me back downtown, and then we can check out the rest that I didn't get to take a look at. There's the 9 going north. We want the 9 going south. So I'm kind of on the eastern edge of downtown Alton. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through, see all the things I didn't get to see, then head to the bus station to grab the 8 to head back up to the Amtrak station. So I passed by this on the way to, I think, the public square. It's the old post office, which they've turned into kind of a, seems like a little coffee shop, which is really cool. So since I have time, I'm gonna go check it out. So I'm not a coffee drinker, but they had this Lucky Club soda that I've never had before, so I guess we'll see how it is. It's okay. Well, that was a nice chill place to sit in some air conditioning for a little while. But I'm going to walk on over to the bus station to grab the 8 and head back up to the Amtrak station. Does anyone know where the classic ba 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 like sound comes from? Because I've heard it from clock towers, I've heard it from doorbells. It seems like it's in a lot of places. So where did it originate? Where did it come from? If you know, let me know, please. Is it not me, or is this just an insane angle? Is this an insane slope for this sidewalk? Like, I'm having to do, you know, the kind of the sidestep thing as you go down a hill. So this is the American Oddities Museum, and I was hoping to go here, but unfortunately, as you can see, it's only open Friday through Sunday, and today is Wednesday. Like I told you, this agency is oops all gilligs. The mall that I was originally planning on going to, but decided to go downtown instead. And I'm sorry if there are any Alton Square Mall foamers in the comments, but I think I made the better choice. Thank you. Thank you. We are back at the Amtrak station. That concludes the Alton segment and the entire Lincoln service. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through Illinois. If you stuck around for the whole thing or jumped around, again, thank you so much. I want to know what your favorite part was. What was the favorite place I visited, or your favorite thing I did? Let me know in the comments. Also, as I said at the beginning, if you have any other info about these places or places I didn't get to visit because they were closed, or any interesting facts, please also let me know in the comments below. This was so much fun, and I hope you check out the other videos where I visit every station on the Illini and the Illinois Zephyr.
Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.